I am MABOULA Jonathan. Thanks, ladies and gentlemen, for joining us on this edition of the 6 p.m. primetime newscast on Equinox Television, live from our headquarters in Cameroon's economic capital, Douala. In our top stories in this edition of the news, the Cameroon government gets into a battle with the European Union Parliament over the socio-political and security crisis hitting over 6 regions of the country. The Minister of Communication and Government spokesperson René Emmanuel Sadi has described resolutions of the European Union Parliament as biased and unfounded with a hidden agenda. We shall be giving you greater details in this newscast. And Dr. Nick Ngwanyam, a political observer, says a good prime minister should stand for the interests of the people. He takes a critical look at the first 100 days of Chief Dr. Joseph John Gute in the Star Building. Cameroon's Minister of Communication and Government spokesperson René Emmanuel Sadi hits back at the European Union over the socio-political and security problems in over 6 regions of the country, including the northwest and the southwest regions. Speaking to reporters last night in the nation's political capital, Yaoundé, Minister René Emmanuel Sadi said that the resolutions of the European Union Parliament were biased and unfounded. According to him, the resolutions had a hidden agenda. He went further to emphasize that Cameroon is a sovereign state and will not allow external forces to interfere in its internal affairs concerning atrocities said to have been committed by elements of the National Armed Forces in the northwest and southwest regions of the country. Minister Emmanuel Sadi reiterated that the military has been professional in the discharge of its duties, and of course he indicates that the situation in the northwest and southwest regions of the country is under control and is gradually returning to normalcy as the people, according to him, continue to have faith in the military. He insisted that Cameroon is one and indivisible. We'll be taking a critical look at the statement of the Minister of Communication and Government spokesperson of the Republic of Cameroon in the second part of this newscast. In the meantime, for me, Armstrong Sander takes us through another reaction to the resolutions of the European Union Parliament, a reaction that came from the upper and lower houses of Parliament, equally condemning or criticizing the statement or resolutions of the European Union Parliament on the current socio-political and security tensions in Cameroon, especially the Anglophone crisis that has been pulling on for close to 3 years today with deadly and devastating consequences. For me, Armstrong Sander.
The reactions of Cameroon's lower and upper houses of parliament comes less than 4 days after the biting resolution 2019/2691 of the European Union Parliament on the Anglophone crisis and the socio-political and security atmosphere in Cameroon. On the Anglophone crisis, the National Assembly said it has always deplored the crisis situation and has made numerous calls for a return to serenity in the said regions, while the Senate said it has paid no effort to provide ideal solutions to the problems faced in the northwest and southwest regions of Cameroon. The both houses told the European Union Parliament that they, as guarantors of the general interests of the people of Cameroon, are fully in support of measures taken by President Paul Biya to calm and contain the Anglophone crisis. On the EU Parliament's call for the United Nations Security Council, the European Union and the African Union to offer to mediate to end the crisis in the northwest and southwest regions, Cameroon's parliament said the country is jealous of its sovereignty and remains open to dialogue both within and without. The Senate and the National Assembly say the people of the northwest and southwest regions are suffering terrorist threats and the European Union Parliament should join forces with them to end the crisis. The Senate and the National Assembly also raised the issue of territorial integrity and the rights of individuals in Cameroon, with the National Assembly stating that Cameroon is a democratic state committed to its territorial integrity and guarantees fundamental freedoms, including freedoms of expressions, to all its citizens. The Senate added that President Paul Biya, since his accession to the helm of the state, has committed to establish firmly democratic and liberal states under the rule of law, which grants access to free expressions of individuals and collective freedoms. The European Union Parliament also raised concerns over what they call crackdown on demonstrators and arrest of individuals on politically motivated charges, citing Maurice Kamto and calling for their release. But the Senate and National Assembly in their outing reiterated that Cameroon is a state of law, denying accusations of human rights abuse in the northwest and southwest regions, unwillingness to dialogue to end the Anglophone crisis, accusations of crackdown on demonstrators across the country, and arrest and detention of individuals on politically motivated charges. Cameroon's parliament called on the European Union members of parliament to consider visiting Cameroon to see things for themselves.
And political actors in the Republic of Cameroon have been expressing divergent and convergent views on the statement of the Minister of Communication, René Emmanuel Sadi, in response to the European Union Parliament or the European Parliament resolutions on the socio-political tensions in Cameroon. Many of them think that the government of the Republic of Cameroon is refusing to recognize or accept the realities on the ground. Many think that, contrary to the Minister of Communication, the situation is worsening day by day, and of course some equally think that the minister is right by indicating that Cameroon is a sovereign state and will not allow any foreign power to interfere in its internal affairs. One of such politicians we talked to in the economic capital Douala is Dr. Nick Ngwanyam. Take a listen to him.
We cannot deny the fact that there's war going on for 3 years now. We cannot deny the fact that there's a lot of unnecessary killing of civilians and the military people for a war that is uncalled for. We cannot deny the fact that children are not going to school and that there have been burning of hospitals, schools and many other things, and a lot of destruction. But we also must say that when these things are going on like this, you know, everybody who is concerned, be it a Cameroonian, a European, American or Indian, would want to see some kind of peace. So the issue is not what they said, the issue is their desire to have peace. And they are looking for ways and means of us having that peace. And the UN and everybody, when this thing started a long time ago, prescribed inclusive dialogue. And what we can also say is that that dialogue, as expected, has been absent up till now. And we will say and say it again that where we are today is not an accident. It's not an accident in the sense that, you know, the adage which goes that a stitch in time saves 9. If you have a wound and you don't treat it in time, it's going to become a large sore. And therefore, what started as a wound today is a large sore. And whatever treatment we have been giving to it has not been effective. And that's so people are looking at where we started and where we are today and saying, look, this thing is becoming a chronic sore, and if nobody pays attention to it, it will become cancerous. And therefore we can but say that people are concerned and are genuinely concerned that's a problem, and whatever solution, what they are saying is that whatever solution has been brought to this problem, the solution doesn't seem to be working, and therefore they are saying change your methods, reassess what you have been doing, reassess the whole problem again, try to understand it, because sometimes you think you have understood a problem, then you bring a solution to it, but you realize that you're bringing the wrong solution or using the wrong tools. So it's time for you to step back, especially if a lot of people are complaining about it, step back reassess the whole situation again, ask yourself some tough questions and find out whether you are dealing in truth, and then if there's anything to be corrected, you correct that, because if you don't, the problem would persist and nobody's interested in the deaths of others, because as long as we keep on doing the wrong things, people are dying and the blood of those people is on our hands. A lot of people are suffering and children are not going to school, and the problem is only becoming more and more difficult. So I think it's time that we reassess the problem, try to understand it, try to apply other healing techniques to it, and I think it should work.
So you think it would have been...
We also asked Dr. Nick Ngwanyam what he thinks about the first 100 days in office of the Prime Minister, Chief Dr. Joseph Jengote. And this is an extract of what he said.
Every Prime Minister has his characteristics, and I could name those on my fingertips. But what is common to all the other Prime Ministers that went before Jengote is that they all like speaking in French, and what got the impression that they are bootlickers, okay, and they don't really seem to be representing their people. They are there. You know, one can understand probably the system that they were put in, but you see the Prime Minister's office, and then you don't see the Prime Ministers being close to Anglophones. You see the Prime Ministers seeming, they look like hired servants, so to speak, you know what I mean? And that's the kind of impression and that people have gotten over the years, and we got the impression that, you know, we were abandoned. Anglophones got the impression that they are orphans without any shelter. That's the and because we had a set of prime ministers who were weak in character, you know, it gave
Ahead of the municipal, legislative, and perhaps the regional elections expected this year in Cameroon, the United Nations Development Programme, the election organizing body Elections Cameroon, and other stakeholders of the electoral processes are stepping up efforts to ensure a free, fair, and transparent elections in the country, void of post-election violence, or better still, violence during or before, during, and after elections, like what we are experiencing today in Cameroon, orchestrated by militants and leaders of the Cameroon Renaissance Movement, CRM political party, who have been claiming the leadership of their president, Professor Maurice Kamto, and of course an end to electoral hold-up and the Anglophone crisis. The stakeholders of the electoral processes were meeting today here in the economic capital Douala in view of fine-tuning strategies to limit the violence that usually proceed or follow elections in the country. Political party representatives of the civil society, representatives of media organs, journalists in general, members of the Electoral Council of Elections Cameroon, and of course officials of the United Nations Development Programme were discussing the promotion of peaceful elections and coexistence in the Republic of Cameroon today. Take a listen now to the United Nations. So first of all, the president of the Electoral Council of Elections Cameroon and the representative of the United Nations Development Programme.
Experience and his expertise in this platform, in this structure, in order to put it in place and in order to make it functional at the national and at the local level. We will give some building capacity. We will also focus on assisting those platforms in order to make them functional, and also to give them a real concrete and a real action plan in the field.
That was the representative of the United Nations Development Programme. Will be coming back to the extract of the President of Elections Cameroon, Eno Abraham Segwe, in a subsequent news editions. Now we proceed to the southwest region of the country, where Derek Jaton takes a look at the use of social media, notably by young people.
Social media, the public square of the 21st century, and a meeting point of everything. Reason why every literate youth is there on the social media, and they say it is the road to success. But there is a problem. Information technology experts are warning that not every seemingly good thing on the social media is what it is in real life.
Social media, like I said, there's a lot of fakeness in social media. If you go to the background, to the behind scenes of the lives of these people that put stuff and say, oh, I'm living my best life, they are dying.
To Madam Moma Rosette Ashu, Southwest Regional Delegate of Communication, most Cameroonian youth are using the social media for the wrong reasons.
So the youth are therefore called upon to use the social media responsibly. And like the Regional Delegate of Communication, I initiated this project because I found that we were lacking in the youth behavior when it comes to using the social media.
And when Leslie of Set the Path came in and organized a one-day training seminar for the youth in Boya.
We came in here today to talk to them, empower them and tell them, use your social media platform to do positive things, to develop your skills, to promote and empower others.
And she also revealed that she is nursing plans to create a vocational training center for all age groups in the nearest future here in Boya, the Southwest Regional Capital.
Derek Jato reporting there. Now we're going to talk about the problem of a scarcity of potable water, which is a problem affecting several parts of Cameroon, from the big cities right into the hinterlands. We're taking you to a neighborhood in the Douala for a subdivision. Dikulu, inhabitants of that part of the city of Douala, have not had potable water supply for over a year now. Smanjikan Gabriel has more.
Taps in Dikolo, a neighborhood in the Douala 4 municipality, have remained dry for several years now.
In Dikolo here, we don't have water. It's almost 1 year, 3 months that we are suffering from water. We dig well. The wells are not well digged. Water coming out there is dirty, very dirty like that. You cannot even drink it, you cannot wash clothes with it.
As a result of the lack of potable drinking water, children trek for long distances in search of the liquid. The absence has caused several households to switch to either boreholes or wells to enable them get water that will help them in doing household chores. The inhabitants of Dikolo are suffering as a result of the repairs on their roads. A company that came from Yaoundé to repair our roads destroyed our taps.
So for today,
the roads that were supposed to be done by now have also been abandoned by the contractors. Apart from water, the lone hospital in Dikolo is also abandoned inside dirt, and the population are calling on the health minister to come to their rescue.
Children that come to hospital, they carry more sick, so they don't know what to do. We are now telling the new minister that has come out in help, so that he should come and help to see whether he can develop all that water in a good way, because we are very suffering.
The population of Dikolo is now hoping that a rapid solution will be found for them to finally get potable drinking water.
That's it for the first part of this newscast. Coming up next, Talking Point. We are receiving a politician, Jacques MABOULA, the mayor of Yabassi in the Nkam Division, Littoral Region of Cameroon, national president of the Republican Alliance political party. Lord Mayor, welcome.
Thank you very much. I'm very happy to be here, and I hope everything's going fine for the entire family of Equinox. I wish to greet all the Anglophone regions. I wish to greet also all the Cameroonians struggling to survive everywhere in the nation.
All right, while they're struggling to surviving, especially those in the northwest and southwest regions of the country, the situation has continued worsening, and our authorities have been saying repeatedly, and the Minister of Communication, that the situation is under control and gradually returning to normalcy. What do you think about this stand of the authorities?
I think the government is doing the best it can, actually, because once the weapons are out, it's very difficult to bring back peace immediately. There are financial solutions they have been trying to implement so that the Anglophone region can be built as fast as possible. But what is important for us now is to drop down the guns and tell all those brothers that have been angry with the government that this first step of peace starts by forgiveness. Without forgiveness, we cannot face a peaceful path in this nation. They need to bring out a white flag so that the government understands it is important for us to stop the war. A bad negotiation is better than a long and strong war.
Now, you've been listening to reactions to statements made by foreign bodies, reactions to statements made by Human Rights Watch, made by the European Union Parliament on the situation on the ground, and those reactions paint, or those statements or resolutions paint a very bleak picture, a disturbing situation on the ground, and of course calling for urgent measures. And the government as well as the Parliament have been reacting to those statements. The Minister of Communication, who qualified the resolutions of the European Parliament as biased, unfounded, with a hidden agenda. What's your analysis of this reaction?
First of all, I cannot agree with the European resolution, because between Anglophone and Francophone there is no problem. As a mayor of Yabassi city, I have received a lot of Anglophone where the traditional rulers have provided a lot of land for farming and so on to many Anglophones. They are living there in peace. That proves that there is no Anglophone and Francophone problem. But there is a crisis in Anglophone region. The crisis has not been solved by the government. Maybe the solution was not the right solution, but it's a pity that those in the headquarters of the secessionists have decided to bring back gun in this matter. We should have been solving this problem in a peaceful manner. And what is important for us is that we will not put petrol in the fire, because I think Mr. MABOULA...
Are you saying that the European Union is putting
they are throwing
oil in the fire?
Yes, they are throwing oil in the fire.
By presenting the situation on the ground?
They are presenting the situation just like there is a war between Anglophone and Francophone. That is wrong, completely wrong. I have received a lot of Francophone in my council. We have provided so many lands to those Anglophones. They are living there peacefully. They are harvesting their crops and so on. They are doing their life just like they were in their city, without problem. So,
but deaths are being counted every day.
Yes,
are regarding the in the northwest and southwest regions every day. The number of internally displaced persons is increasing.
And
these are the figures and facts that the European Union is presenting. But government says no. All of that is false. All of that is fake, and so on.
I recognize there are some exactions from the government, for army forces, also from the secessionists, but the only organization who has the right to use weapons in the state is the army force. If you don't recognize that, you cannot go out from that problem. And those who have decided to take weapons to solve a socio-political crisis are wrong. And now, I want them to...
Using the weapon and using it right, using a weapon and using it right, there are two different things. And the European Union and even Human Rights Watch says your elements, soldiers, are committing atrocities in the two Anglophone regions of the country, as well as the secessionists. They are also accused of committing atrocities. But the Minister of Communication says our army has been very professional, rejecting all the accusations.
I don't have all the details of how the matter is going there, but regarding what is going on in the social medias, you can recognize that there are atrocities in both sides. Because what I see coming from the Anglophone region, I will not say that the secessionists are doing the war with gloves. No, they are doing war with guns. They are doing atrocity on civilians and so on. So we need to face the situation as brothers. If not, we are going to die like idiots. So, when I've said so, I want to plead upon all those guys in the secessionist headquarters to stop financing the war, because so many lives are being killed and so on. The living conditions are becoming worse, and we don't need to tear what we have built in so many years. There are many misunderstandings. We can sit down and discuss like brothers. If not, we'll help the foreigners to come and take what belongs to us. I think yesterday we were accusing the foreign countries to have divided our nation.
And even today, the Minister of Communication and other authorities in government have been accusing foreign powers and institutions of trying to destabilize Cameroon. Do you see any intention, any hidden agenda as highlighted by the Minister in the European Union resolutions?
I do believe they are interested on all what we have as resources and so on. When you are divided, the foreigners serve twice, because they will take from you and take from the other border. I would say we need to sit as brothers and discuss. The best step of peace in our nation start by forgiveness. Without forgiveness, we will not come out of this war.
Who should forgive who?
First of all, the President of the Republic should forgive what has been done. That is, the forgiveness should start also by good faith and goodwill from the secessionists. That is, I said, they should bring out a white flag and say, we recognize we should sit and discuss. This is a white flag. We need the war to stop.
What do you mean by the President of the Republic should forgive what has been done?
He should forgive because nobody has the right of taking weapons against his state. Nobody has that right. If you are angry, you can express yourself. As I said earlier, and in the past on this same Equinox television, I said, non-violence speaks louder than weapons. I think if all these fighters should have chosen the peaceful resistance, actually they will be in all their right, because...
But some critics think that the language of peace is not heard by the Yaoundé administration.
When you are fighting, you should be patient. You should be patient.
Not necessarily violence, but demonstrations.
Fight includes time and patience. You cannot start a fight today and say they have started violating your rights. Look what happened in India with Mahatma Gandhi. He fought for so many years without weapon, but at the end, he was the one in all his right, and India was free. So I think if you want to be understood, you should think about a peaceful manner to face your government. And I think they are not only secessionists in Anglophone region. Our nation is governed by also Anglophones. The Prime Minister is an Anglophone, and all has been done in this nation has been done with Anglophones. We cannot just behave like Francophone have been ruling in this country. No. If they have an embezzlement on phone, it's both sides, Anglophone and Francophone and so on. So we should recognize there was no general interest as concerned in this nation. That's what brought all this socio-political crisis.
But some are complaining that the Anglophones who are in top positions of responsibility are always coming on the secondary position. Look, the head of state, a Francophone, the president of the Constitutional Council, a Francophone, the president of the Senate, a Francophone, yes. National Assembly, Francophone, and then the Prime Minister.
All that will be discussed during the peaceful issues of this crisis. And I think there is a peaceful resolution to be taken regarding this crisis, but all that starts but by forgiveness. And I think without forgiveness, we will not face the peaceful solution. If we think only that is going abroad and say, oh, you are dying and so on, this war will last for so many years, and the people that will go going to die is only the weak people in the chain.
Mayor Jacques MABOULA, Mayor of the Kam, or rather the Yabassi municipality in the Kam division of the Littoral region, President of the Republican Alliance political party, thanks for coming.
Thank you. I wish peace to come back, but what I will say, all my brothers in the Anglophone region, is that peace starts by the white flag and forgiveness.
Peace starts with a white flag and forgiveness. Thanks, ladies and gentlemen, for staying with us. Goodbye.